What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Koop'd Up podcast, the podcast that has done 293 points worth of recoil damage. My name is Koopa, and each week I sit down with a friend, and we talk about all the happenings of things in pop culture and everything nerdy in between that. This week, folks, it is all about Pokemon Legends Arceus, however, whatever camp you put yourself in. I'm going to go in between because I truly don't remember what's canon and what isn't. And I'm not doing it alone. This game was a lot of fun, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys and with one of my favorite humans on the internet. Please welcome a, in quotation marks, content creator for Team UYU and a first-time guest on the podcast. It's please welcome, you know them as ghoulrunnings on the internet, but I will refer to them by their government internet name. It's B. Hi, B.
Hi.
What's up?
Government internet name.
Yeah, it's, you know, you gotta let them know. See, we're cool like that. I can call you by your nickname.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. I have Arceus brain rot. It's Arceus.
Arceus. Okay, I'm gonna make a mental note now and then forget in approximately 17 minutes.
It's so stupid because everyone was just calling it Arceus for the past decade.
it's so, I was trying to think of so hard of like things that have just been like so wildly mispronounced that we all just kind of adopted it as normal, and I couldn't think of anything. But Arceus is definitely like one of them where it's just like, wait, you're telling me I have to rewire my brain for what, the last like 15 years? It's when Gen 4 came out in 2007.
I thought it was 2006. It could be 2007 though. It probably is 2007.
Yeah, like I was trying to remember because like I was leading up to the whole, you know, Pokemon Legends hype train. They obviously released the long-awaited Gen 4 remakes, which I'll touch on them briefly because I just beat the games before these came out, and yikes, it made me feel a certain way. But yeah, listen, these games are here. It's fun, as B just mentioned. The brain rot is real. And my brain has been just in a constant state of vegging out and, you know, trying to find satchels to farm all that fun stuff. And we're going to talk about it all on this episode of the podcast. And again, if you guys are here, you're going to give a shout out to our listening platform, the BLEAV Podcast Network, which is the #1 podcasting site for professionals, housing over 400 shows, ranging from all things about sports, film, and pop culture, featuring the likes of, you know, Bill Polian, Adam Pac-Man Jones, if you're familiar with, you know, also topical because the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl, sports. And there's my reference for the week. So you can check all that out on BLEAV.com and check us out at BLEAV.com/shows/Koop'd Up, where the entirety of our library is there. So again, a lot of fun stuff coming up as, you know, we're going to talk about, you know, Pokemon Legends, and we're going, you know, to talk about everything in between as we're getting near the tail end of this celebration of the 4th generation of Pokemon, for the most part. This game isn't necessarily a Sinnoh game because it's very, you know, it feels very different in tone and just experience than what the Gen 4 remakes gave out. But, you know, first I'll you know, I'll just phrase the question. B, thanks for being on the show this week. It was a long time coming. We originally had a plan for you to be on the show with Noelle a few months ago, and then you a stray cat walked into your life.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I forgot that's why. I was trying to remember why we didn't do it, but yeah, Frankie knocked on the door.
Yeah, Frankie, if you guys don't know, is B's 3rd adopted cat.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them, right? Yeah. I gotta say, super happy for you. As someone that has lived in an area where stray cats are like so common, I've seen like very few and far between, you know, since I've grown out of my childhood. And I'm a cat guy now. I've said this on like, you know, 2 out of the last 3 podcasts I've recorded. I love cats. Cats rule.
Cats are amazing. I didn't want 3. I didn't even really want 2, but we kind of just ended up with them. So
It's funny because my my girlfriend said the same thing about all the cats that she had. They're all just failed fosters because they just ended up falling in love with the cats too much. And now she's like, "Yeah, I'm surprised we ended up with more than like two, and then they ended up having six
Oh
at the
my
end of it all."
god.
So yeah, cats rule. I'm okay with it. I used to be. I like convinced myself to like I was deathly allergic to cats, and I'm only like kind of allergic to cats now. So like I'm tolerant, which is great because if I wasn't able to pet them, I would be very sad because one of the cats in my life is incredibly affectionate.
Mm.
And I truly wish he'd get a job. So um but yeah, so what else has been going on? I know that these games just came out, and like you mentioned, you've just been no lifing it. So, what else has been going on? You playing anything else good? I know that we were, like most of the guests I have on the show, we know each other through the Smash community and the internet, and we're both kind of in this hiatus phase where there isn't a lot of tournaments happening right now. But
Oh
yeah. So
yeah.
what else is going on? How you feeling?
Oh. Sorry, there's a cat on my PC tower, so if I just leave, she pressed the power button.
Oh my god.
I've been playing a lot of COD actually. I finally bought it like maybe like a month or two ago. I finally bought it and it's actually really good. So I've just been playing COD and then honestly that kind of took a backseat for Pokemon. I've basically only been playing Legends Arceus for the past however since it came out. I took off from
Yeah.
work that day to start it.
I I absolutely love that, and we'll beat around the bush. No more. Someone that hasn't been playing COD but has dropped every single game that I've been playing since this game came out. We'll talk about it. And again, so like I mentioned, at the top, this is the latest installment in the Pokemon franchise, and not Pokemon celebrated its was it 25th anniversary last year? Am I remembering that correctly?
I think it was 25th.
25th, yeah. So I remember back in January of 2020, yeah, 2020. Pokemon was, or was it 2020 or 2021? I don't remember what's going on anymore. Everything's blending together. Either way, there was a Pokemon Direct at some point. You can tell that I both just woke up from a nap and I've been playing nothing but video games for the last like 2 weeks. But yeah, there was a Pokemon Direct where they finally gave the people what they were waiting for, which was the announcement of the Gen 4 Pokemon remakes. Again, it's kind of just the inevitable thing with Pokemon is that we'll eventually go back and retread their old stories with updated graphics. And alongside that announcement, we got the announcement of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was this Breath of the Wild style open world action RPG. Pokemon trailer. I was on another podcast talking about that trailer initially, where that first trailer kind of looked like hot garbage. It didn't really do a great, job conveying, how the games look and, how they play until much later, when we started getting a little bit more information about the game. But yeah, so I'll start by asking you this. So where was your initial hype on these first two announcements? Because I feel like most people have the take where and I didn't think I would feel this way because I'm like an unapologetic, like Diamond and Pearl, like apologist. I love Gen 4 so much, but where was your head at when you first saw these announcements versus to where we are now with both these games out?
I'm not gonna lie, and I know this is a me thing. I don't like Diamond and Pearl.
Oh,
they're
my
like
heart.
they're like I think for me they just did not. I don't know if it was the age they came like I was when they came out because I was like 13 going into high school. Um, I don't know if it was that or just like I they just kind of bored me always. I don't like the decks. They're probably in my least favorite. Like I like them as games, but as Pokemon games, like they're not my favorite. So when I saw the remake, I was pretty indifferent, and I did get it, and I could not play it. It's unplayable in my opinion. So that's where I'm at with those. I didn't care for it. Gavin begged me to get it, so I got it. And yeah, I put maybe like 10 hours in before I was like, all right, can't do this anymore. And then when I saw the Legends trailer, Legends Arceus, I was actually super excited. I guess where I stood when those came out, I was like, wow, maybe the when I bought the Diamond and Pearl remakes, I was like, maybe this will make me like Gen 4 more, and it didn't. But honestly, Legends Arceus has really made me like Gen 4 a lot more. Like, I definitely feel some type of way about the decks initially, but like, I like the decks now, I guess, kind of. Like, it just gives so much Pokemon, like, life and personality. I don't know. I really didn't think anything looked wrong with either trailer at the time, but like everyone else did, so probably just a me thing again. Now, I do think that
That was pretty funny though.
Arceus is kind of like a little crusty, but nothing like absolutely, game breaking or anything.
Sure, yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said, and I don't know because we're both the same age. We're both 107 years old, so we were I was in the same age group when Diamond and Pearl came out, and I said this on other mediums, but when those games were coming out, those were like the first Pokemon games I bought with like my own money. With like I had my own 3D, not 3DS, my own Nintendo DS where I didn't have to share, with my brother or anything like that. So I just remember when these games came out, I no lifed Diamond version so hard that like I sat on the couch for so long that my legs fell asleep. Like
Oh
I
my
literally
God.
didn't move from my couch for like 7 hours of the game until my my mom was like, "Can you please go outside and like play or something? Like you're driving me crazy." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I have like a lot of like nostalgic attachment to this generation, and more so with Pokemon Platinum than Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, because
Yeah.
I do agree that those base Gen 4 games are dog water. Don't listen to the people that say it's like they're not that bad. They are that slow. The text is, it is that kind of drawn out of a game, and the Pokedex isn't great. And we talked about this a little bit, before the podcast started, but like some of the new Pokemon forms that they added were just not they don't look great. Like I like certain Pokemon like Ambipom, and I like certain Pokemon like Porygon Z, but like some of those new designs are like a little rough around the edges.
Hmm.
I'd say the best thing that Gen 4 brought is just the physical special split, which is like completely changed how like certain Pokemon function, and just like it really made a certain era of Pokemon more viable than others. So that in it, I will give Gen 4 is that it really just kind of redefined how you go back and play those older games, which is like really really hard to do sometimes. That being said, when I saw this initial trailer, I was definitely smoking the copium pack for for the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearls remakes, and I kept saying I'm just like I doubled down. I'm gonna buy the games on release, and it's gonna be fun. Like the chibi style didn't bother me. I thought it was kind of cool, and I just wish it was more like Platinum than it was Diamond and Pearl. Like
It's
I
a
wasn't expecting.
one for one remake.
Yeah, it was kind of nuts. Like I was waiting for it to like change or do something, and the whole time I'm just like, oh my god, it's literally a one for one like remake. Like with the addition of like some new moves thrown in, I guess. But even then, it's just like, wow. Like I'm just truly shocked as to how authentic this is to the original. Which again, those first two Diamond and Pearl games are not great. They have not aged well. They're my least favorite Pokemon games to go back and play if I ever want to go back and play them. Which why would you if a game has a third version? It's kind of weird. And I think of you differently if you do that. But like I was just I when Pokemon games usually come out, I am the type that I try to play through them as fast as humanly possible. Like I want to get so in depth, so engrossed in the story that I just want to forget about everything else around me and just like rot in my room for like 4 days while I play through it. I did it with, Sword and Shield. I did it with Sun and Moon when those, both of those versions of those games. And the remakes just were not doing it for me. Like I was not playing the game for like days at a time, and eventually you just hit that like midpoint of the game where it's just a crawl, and it took me forever to actually like beat the game. Um, and the other thing that just kind of bugged me is that I was incredibly over leveled the entire time of the game, and Pokemon games are not fun when you're one shotting everything for just like 12 plus hours. So it was definitely a process. It felt more like a job than it did like, a hobby and experience. Um, and I definitely am with you where like I think Arceus is a little crusty. It definitely has some stuff that makes it not great for like modern game standards, but it is such a refreshing breath of fresh air. Not just as a Pokemon fan, but like because of what I was coming off of with the Gen 4 remakes. It's so much fun. I truly enjoy a lot of the changes that Pokemon has made in this game, and we'll talk about it more in depth. But yeah, so like man, these games, it's so much fun. So we can finally talk about how we've just been rotting away playing the game. So how's your experience, been with these games?
The first like however many hours I was playing, me and Gavin were just like kind of silent, just like once in a while, just like popping off, like showing each other something, and I just kept saying like every like half hour or something. I was just like, I love this game. Like it was so like it gave me. Oh my god, I'm sorry. It's
It's okay.
it gave me a lot of it I just can't remember like aside from Sun and Moon the last time I played a Pokemon game and I was just like so engrossed in the environment, and like I really do feel that way about Sun and Moon. I think they are like incredible. But I I can't remember a time where like I played a Pokemon game and I was just like, this is amazing. This is like the best thing that I've played in so long. It was just like I wish, like going back, I wish maybe it was a little less barren, and maybe there was a little less like crust. But when you're actually like playing it, I don't even think about those things. Like everything looks so good in motion, and it just it doesn't feel as maybe like empty as it is. And there are some things that I wish maybe they improved upon before releasing the game, but as it stands, like it's still like probably like gonna be my game of the year just based on how much I've been playing it in general.
Yeah, no, I feel pretty much the same way. Like I will say like that first hour or so of the game, I think the entire like first noble of the game definitely feels like a bit of a elongated tutorial process. It feels a little long in the tooth. It's very long and drawn out. Because, and I kind of get, I understand why they're doing it this way, because Pokemon has finally taken that jump into the action RPG era that Pokemon doing things 20 years late to the party like everyone else does, and they are allotted for it. When, games like Breath of the Wild and, has been out since for as long as it has. And, games like Final Fantasy 15 have been out for as long as they've been. So, but yeah, I know a lot of people have like been pointing back to like Pokemon Black and White 2 as like, everyone that a lot of people I know have been saying that this is their favorite Pokemon experience since Black and White 2. And I'm like you, where I'm someone that really likes a lot of the newer Pokemon games. Like I love Sun and Moon. I did not Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, take it or leave it, but the entirety of Gen 7 I did really like. That is Gen 7, right? Yeah, that is Gen
Yes.
7. And I also really like Sword and Shield. Like, again, despite its problems, I did really enjoy those games. So as someone that's really enjoyed the modern Pokemon games more than the average fan has, I am with you. This is definitely going to be in my games of the year list, 10 months from now. It's so much fun, and again, it does feel a little bit. It is a little empty at times. I can see where the Breath of the Wild comparisons can kind of stop. With the like just kind of like the atmosphere of the game, or like how you tend to move around, because
Mhm.
like it does feel like its own thing as someone that also just freshly beat that game for the first time. So it definitely feels very different. Again, it just it does borrow a lot of the same stuff. But it's this game has completely changed how like I look and play Pokemon games, and um, it, I love the little changes they've made, whether it's like how certain Pokemon evolve, how you go across, uh, battling and getting your item drops and such. I love a lot of the character stuff in this game. I don't love all of it, but I do love a lot of the new characters they introduce. I do enjoy how they kind of tie everything into the bigger story when it's all said and done. And again, speaking from the story narrative, you know, Pokemon and story, it's always like the meme where people are just like, why do you play Pokemon games for the story? And again, since this is, I think, the best the story has been since since Gen 5, again, as someone that enjoys a lot of what the stories of Gen 7 and Gen 8 tried to do, it does kind of fall back into like the same, formulaic stuff that Pokemon does. But the story in this game, I think, is really, really good. I like most of the new Pokemon. I do like the mix of Pokemon that they have here.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is really changed my brain as to how I play Pokemon. And I really hope that they keep this as like, the main style going forward. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's going to be really hard for me to go back to like turn-based battles and like a really fixed map or camera with like some dynamic movement, whenever we get those like Gen 9 games or the inevitable black and white remakes.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. Like, it's so different. Like, just being able to literally run away from a Pokemon battle. I don't know if you know that you could do that. Like, if your
I,
Pokemon's in a battle, you could just straight up, like, start running the other way.
oh, like, oh wait, really? Like, I
Yeah.
actually did not know that.
Yeah, I do it all the time when I, like, throw my Pokemon at a tree and a Burmy jumps out or something. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I just
Yeah,
run.
fuck Burmy.
And yeah, and it just says you strayed too far from the battle, and it ends. And
Oh my god,
it's
that
actually
is so
amazing.
funny.
Um,
Yeah, I love little stuff like that. That I just found out if you hold down the L trigger, you go into the first person view. Because
uh-huh.
like I've been like posting pictures of my Pokemon like on Twitter and stuff, and I'm just like, how do I get myself out of the picture so I'm just not like hard styling next to my Pokemon every time I take a photo with them? And then I just found out like just by experimentation. So if I just hold the L trigger down, I go into first person view. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. It's just so like I don't think I could like just sit through an actual like kind of I think they are still like turn-based battles, but like I can just run around like in it, like get like dynamic like camera views of the battles, and I think that's really cool. Just the quality of life changes to just straight up throw a Pokeball and then walk away. And if you catch it, you catch it. And if you don't, you don't. Like, that's just like, I don't want to sit there and weaken a Pokemon ever again. Like, I just want to throw my Pokeball and, maybe get it, maybe I don't. I don't care. Like, my first, like, couple hours of the game when I was trying to fill out the decks and stuff, I was just running around throwing Pokeballs at literally everything.
Yep.
And I caught, like, 40 Pokemon or something.
Yeah, it's weird. Like that actually kind of leads into my next question because, like, I know that you like Pokemon. You like Pokemon just as much as I do. I actually went on. It's weird when like people ask me like what my favorite gaming franchises are, but like I've never really thought about like what my second favorite is because I'm a committed Sonic the Hedgehog fan, for the bit, for the culture. But like I was talking about at dinner with my friends the other day, I'm just like, this really defined to me that like I still really love Pokemon as a franchise, and like it's very comfortably in my number two. Just like, growing up as like a kid in the middle of the Pokemon boom, like in that late 90s to early 2000s, like nothing will ever compare to that. It was crazy, and
Hmm.
Pokemon is still like, I'll drift away. I'm not, I'll take my time away from the franchise whenever I needed to take it. I'm talking about it as if it's like my ex-wife or something, but like, I still have so much love for these games whenever I go back to play them. And like you, this really kind of changed my mind with like, the quality of life stuff as to how you go about catching Pokemon is on a basic level. Like I'm someone when I play through Pokemon games that I don't know how you feel or like when you play through the games or not. I don't like catching wild Pokemon. I usually and we'll talk about it a bit with the with like how the game, how the entire of the game like just kind of like leaked like 2 weeks before it was supposed to come out or whatever. But I'm the type of person that like whenever you know, the game's release, I tend to kind of look up what the Pokedex looks like. Like I don't consider what Pokemon are in the game a spoiler for me personally. So like I'll go out of my way to look for that information because I want to be able to like craft a team a certain way. I don't want to have to like struggle to like think about what Pokemon I want to use. I want to just get my 6 and then be on my merry way. But the more recent Pokemon games have really encouraged you to like, switch your party around and use different Pokemon because they there is over 900 Pokemon and counting at this point. So like I think if I did more of that in like Sword and Shield or like, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, like I would enjoy those games a lot more because like it takes away the biggest issue of like everybody being just like a little too over leveled. But like it's so hard for me to just like rewire my brain to like not just like play with like the 6 of Pokemon I want to play with. I counted how many Pokemon I used at like a serious level, through my first playthrough of the game. I used like 14 Pokemon. Like so I don't know how like you play through the games, but like that was the biggest thing for me that I noticed. This is like wow, like this really changed how I go about like really using more than just like my like predetermined like 6.
Well, for me, like I kind of have always done that. I just like Pokemon. Like I'm not. It's one reason that I actually like abstain from talking about Pokemon so much on social media. Like I'm not like in the quote unquote Pokemon community. Like to
Me
be
neither.
clear, I've been playing Pokemon since I was a toddler, but I literally only like Gen 7 only just found out like the difference between special and physical attacks. Like I'm just such a Pokemon normie. I like Pokemon because I like them. Like I tried to have Mr. Mime on my team in this game and he's just so bad and I was like, God damn it. I really tried to make it work. But yeah, like I like Pokemon that I like or think are cute. Like I don't evolve some of my Pokemon sometimes. I have a bunch of little Toxel in Sword and Shield because I just love Toxel. Um
Toxel's great. Big
I
fan.
love Toxel. That's actually like Sword and Shield, I actually switched my Pokemon out a ton just because I think Galar Pokemon are so good. That was such an amazing dex.
No, I agree. I think like pound for pound, like Pokemon doesn't always get it right with these newer gens. Like some of these Pokemon designs just straight up look like shit. But like
Yeah,
the Galar decks in general, like really like pound for pound, like does a really good job with like how some of their Pokemon are designed.
I agree. But yeah, so this game specifically, Arceus, like I definitely used more than 14. I was like switching my Pokemon out all the time and like I am a big fan of experience share. I know how like the majority of the community feels about it, which like I don't get it, but whatever. I love experience share and I love that when you catch a Pokemon in this game, all of your Pokemon get like a decent amount of experience. If you like send them out to do their silly little tasks like break rocks and stuff, they all get experience. So like I'll just move my like whatever little baby I just caught, move it to the front of my party and kind of just like throw it out to like get berries or whatever. Like it makes everything so much easier. It makes it so much easier to like switch out Pokemon and like obviously like the abolition of HMs helps all of that so much too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I just love the notion of just like sending a baby Pokemon out to just break a rock.
Yeah, go to work.
Yeah.
Do your 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like, what do you think I'm paying you for? What are we doing here? Yeah, like I agree with a lot of what you said. Like something that I think the newer games have done such a great job of is that it's really made it like again it's another reason why they really kind of without saying it directly really want you to use more than just like 6 or 7 Pokemon during your playthroughs because they make it so easy for you to catch up those Pokemon on those later levels. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't begin to express the PTSD I have from like playing older Pokemon games where like, certain like the getting the EXP share in general in most Pokemon games is a fucking chore. Like I don't remember it ever being easy in any Pokemon game I've ever played, except I think in one of them they literally give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they give it to you in like all of them, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And some games have 2 of them, so it's just like, oh, now you can level up 3 Pokemon with like half the EXP of the other ones. And I'm just like, constantly like switching the hell item between this Pokemon and that Pokemon. It's just like, oh, I want to use this Pokemon, but by the time I get it, it's like too like low leveled to like really make an impact on my team. I ran into these issues a lot when I played through Brilliant Diamond because I, for some reason, 6 badges into my journey, I'm just like, I want to fuck around and use Sudowoodo. Why not? So
Mm-hmm.
like, I was just like, man, this is gonna be hard. Like trying to just like level him up in like a reasonable level to catch up with my team, but also like not over level the rest of my team either. So it's like the EXP share in general, I think all Pokemon having EXP share on at once is like a great idea. And even with like something I love as well is that this game brings back the EXP candies, which I
Yeah.
think are godsends. They
Mm-hmm.
are like I don't really know how the Pokemon community at large feels about them. Again, I'm like you were like I don't like outwardly identify as a Pokemon fan because Pokemon fans are so toxic. like
Mm-hmm.
nobody hates Pokemon games more than Pokemon fans, and nobody loves Pokemon more than Pokemon fans. So it's I don't know how the community at large feels about like the EXP share candies, but I think they're great. I think it just really takes a lot of like the thought out of leveling up your Pokemon. Um, and I just caught myself again like catching so many Pokemon just no lifing that opening area of the game where I'm just like, do I need to catch like 18 Shinx? No. Am I gonna do it? Yes. I still don't understand how like the Pokedex entry stuff works. Like whenever like you leave the area and a professor's like, all right, let's see how you did. You're like, oh, cool, you got like 15 new entry updates. I'm just like, cool. I don't know what I did, but that's cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, like that's fun. But like I use again a lot more Pokemon than I've used in any other playthrough of a Pokemon game. I use Pokemon that I don't usually use. Whether them being either unobtainable like through regular means of the game or like I just wanted to challenge myself. So like that's I guess that's my next question. Like when you what type of Pokemon do you like to use when you like play through like a playthrough? Like what's your typical team construction look like?
I am always someone that kind of goes for balance. Like I try and have one of like every type, or not every type, but like, I try to have like a pretty balanced team. I'm trying to think of what my team is now. I don't remember the last time I took a picture of it. So, but like if I start with like a grass starter and I start with Rowlet, grass fighting sucks, by the way. Um
Honestly, spitting. Nobody talks about how like people meme on firefighting. Grass fighting is also like equally as
Why
annoying.
did they put grass fighting for Decidueye and Lilligant? What sense does that make?
Yeah, I hate that. Well, spoiler alert, by the way, Final
Oh yeah.
Forms. If you're this deep into the podcast,
Yeah.
I probably should have prefaced it. We're gonna be talking spoilers, and we're gonna get into more spoilery stuff in a second. So here's your final warning. Continue on.
Yeah, that's my thing. Actually, my team right now, I just remembered I've been catching shinies. So, my team is basically like whatever shinies I'm finding, I'm just putting them in there. Like I do not like Drapion, but I found a shiny full odds, so he's in there. I think I have Cleaver. I have that shiny Rapidash, the Ponyta that you get from the event, or not the
Oh,
event, the side quest.
I love that it just give you one, which is like so cool.
That is so cool. That's another thing. Sorry, I'm like kind of like off topic. Like shinies are, I feel like they're too easy to get.
Yeah, I've never been like a shiny hunter per se. Like the only real shiny hunting I did was when you could do like the fishing chaining in Pokemon X and Y.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, and like again, all I have to show for it is a bunch of shiny fish that I'm never going to use. I haven't. I've looked into like how easy it is to get shinies in this game, and I haven't like done a whole lot of it. I did find a shiny Shinx without trying to. I was on my way to do another side quest, and I saw the little I saw like the little like flash pop up, and was like, oh cool, you're cute, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of moved on with my life. But I agree, like the amount of people I see with like full shiny teams, I'm just like, damn, like that's kind of crazy.
I've gotten 2 full odds shinies. Like,
Wow.
just walking around. Yeah, I got shiny Sneasel and shiny Drapion. Shiny Hisuian Sneasel, kind of whatever. I wish it was normal one, but
I just hate. I we'll talk about the new Pokemon in a second. I
uh-huh.
just hate how tall it is. We talked about this off pod. I like. It makes me so uncomfortable, and I have no explanation as to why, other than it's just long as hell, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, you like. I'm kind of the same way when I like put together a Pokemon team. Like, I know what types of Pokemon that I like, and I know what types of Pokemon I want to use, and that might not necessarily always be beneficial to the team that I put together. Because like when I look at like older Pokemon games, when I play through them, like I like I would use like 3 fire types because I'm an idiot, or like I just use like really bad Pokemon. I don't understand how like the physical special moves worked, like for the life of me.
Yeah.
So like I was just like, duh, how come this? I'm like, how come this Pokemon sucks? How come Ninetales looks so cool, but it's so bad? Like, why
Mm-hmm.
can I not one shot this thing? I'm like level 60. And then you find out that like Ninetales is best stat as special defense as a fire type. It's just like, wow, I'm sad now. Even though we stand alone in Ninetales in this house, I love that Pokemon so much. Like, I think it's a beautiful creature. But yeah, like I like when it comes to like modern Pokemon games, like I've played through Pokemon so many times. Like I kind of like to challenge myself, like I said before, by just like using Pokemon I've never used before.
Mm-hmm.
Which was like a little frustrating with like the Diamond and Pearl games, is because like I used like I played those games so many times. I've used pretty much every team combination you can while playing like Gen 4. So like that's why I'm like trying to use Pokemon like fucking pseudo Wudo, like with
Yeah.
with no other reason other than like I want to like make this as hard as I possibly can for myself. Um but like I did a little bit of that with this game, and like I like using a lot of the new Pokemon, through a playthrough. And there isn't a whole lot of new Pokemon in this game, but like you've made this post a lot on social media, and I definitely agree with you. A lot of the new Pokemon in this game are a little underwhelming, which is like one of the more underwhelming parts about this like potential last game in Generation 8.
Yeah, it's just really like a letdown for me because Alolan forms I feel are so good and Galar forms are so good. And then
Yep.
like what the hell happened? I was honestly hoping that the leaks were just like not real somehow. That they were just like this whole like extensive work of like making these fake renders or something. But yeah, no, they weren't.
Yeah, it's pretty upsetting. And like I'm again, as someone that likes the newer games more than most people, I think the regional variants are great. I think it's one of the best ideas that Pokemon's ever had. Like, because you can definitely see that Pokemon has painted themselves into a corner sometimes with like how little, some of these ideas are like not always going to be winners when it comes to like adding new Pokemon. um but I think introducing the regional variants was such a smart idea. I love all of the Alolan forms of Pokemon. I love the Galarian forms of all the new Pokemon that they added. And again,
Mhm.
some of these forms just like aren't doing it for me. Like, I think like I like I saw the leaks. I thought Alolan Hisuian Growlithe looks cool. Like,
Mhm.
I thought Voltorb looked cool too. Like, Voltorb is like low key like in my like upper echelon of favorite Pokemon, and like I thought it looked cute. And then like I thought the Zoroark stuff and whatever looked cool, but like some of these other ones just like they aren't great. like
Yeah.
I don't like what they did with Lilligant. I'm not even that big of a Lilligant person, but I agree with you. It's like, why would you make 2 grass and fighting types in the
Mhm.
same game? It's kind of sus. I don't like what they did to Typhlosion. I think
Oh
Typhlosion
my,
looks
I
like
think that's horrible.
yeah, high flosion makes for great like meme material, but like I just don't like what they did with it. And like
Hmm.
I think if I had to pick a favorite out of this bunch, it would probably be it's so hard. Like I really do like I like Overquill. I think that's a great name. I also like kind of like the way that it looks. Like it looks like a landmine. And Sneasel is can do no wrong. Like I've broken up with Toxicroak as my and Krogan because like my favorite fighting poison type, and it is now Hisuian Sneasel. Definitely up there. For sure. But yeah, pound for pound, like the new Pokemon that they introduced in this game just is not my cup of tea, and it's a little upsetting.
I'm gonna look up a picture of all of them. Um, is this really all of them?
Yeah, right. It's weird.
I really like I think Quillfish is cool. I hate Overquill. I think Hisuian Sneasel is cool. What the hell is Sneasler? And what is that name too? These names kind
It's
of
so
suck.
it's so funny. Like when the game leaked and we like heard what like some of these Pokemon looked like and what their names might be. I was talking to my friend and she was like, "What?" It's like, "What if the evolved form of Sneasel is just called like more Sneasel because it's so much taller?" It's like, and again, it like Sneasler makes it sound like it's just like more Sneasel. So
Yeah,
she
I
was
mean
like,
it is.
yeah, it is. I can't wait for. She was like, I can't wait for like the Gen 7 remakes where it's just like, oh yeah, are y'all ready for Sneeze List? Like, it's just like, I just thought that was so funny. But yeah, it's some of these designs are just so bad.
I
Like,
don't know why. I don't understand Enamoris's purpose.
yeah, I don't get it. Do we really need another one of these things?
Like
Like,
it's like land, air, what's the other one? Thunderous,
um,
Landorus, and Tornadus.
yeah,
It's so why is there like a love version? What does that
because
mean?
love wins. I don't know. Valentine's Day. It makes no sense to me. It's kind of like I actually forgot that they added like 2 more Reggie forms, like in Pokemon and Sword and Shield. It's just like, why do we need more of these Pokemon when there's already so fucking many of them? Like,
Low key, I think they're kind of cool. Reggie
I
Lucky
think
and
they're
Reggie Drago.
I think they're cool, but I'm just like, do we really need this? Like, also like, I've had if I had to pick a favorite out of like the new Pokemon, like not just like form variations, it would probably be Cleavor because it's definitely grown on me. It does not look good. Like it I don't know, it's weird. I think because I use one for like a good bulk of my playthrough, and like it still like does like what the scissor line does like very well, which is like hit really hard,
Uh-huh.
and I'm here for that. I usually tend to use rock types more often than not in my playthroughs. I don't know why, but it was fun for a while. I just wish it didn't look so like aggro craggy. Like
Yeah.
the scissor line was a perfect evolutionary line, and then they introduced like Rock Grandpa, and I'm just like, how does it get battle axes for hands? Like, can somebody please explain to me how this works?
I will say there's a reason they all went extinct. they Humans just decided to get these out of production.
Just eradicate them.
There's just gonna be some like, oh well, since you're from the future and you're going back to the future from the past, you're gonna bring all these Pokemon with you, and now they're going to make their way into current dexes, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert! By the way, time travel is a thing that happens
Yeah.
in this game. But yeah, so you got any other thoughts on like the new Pokemon before we get into like some of like the more spoilery stuff?
I think Goodra's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
actually, wait, did you finish the game?
I did.
Okay, so Palkia and Dialga, like, I'm gonna just say it, they're the worst box legendaries, like, by far. That's my
Yeah,
opinion on that. But
yeah, yeah.
so their forms, like, I was pretty indifferent on it because I'm like, I don't think they could get any worse for me. But actually, after all like the end game lore, the reason that they look like that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely like that they go out of the way to kind of like explain that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Like, I don't think Dialga and Palkia do anything like super like special or like earth breaking, but like I do like the story stuff that they try to incorporate into into like why these legendaries like look the way that they do. But yeah, like I think it's, as we move into more spoilery stuff, as things that they don't talk about during the games. So one of the biggest surprises of this game is that it doesn't it doesn't just like casually take place in just like feudal Japan or feudal Sinnoh, as it is known in this game as the Hisui region. You're actually a time traveler, which is kind of crazy. Like the game opens up with you literally talking to God, and God then infiltrates your cell phone. And then you just get dropped in this like mysterious land wearing like a whole ass like Alola t-shirt, or like I played through with like the Dawn, like the not Dawn character. I think her name's like Akari or something.
Akari. Well, it is Dawn if you're playing as her, but if she's like your rival, then it's Akari.
Right, I think that the Ethan, is it Ethan in
Lucas.
Diamond Emperor? Lucas. God, I never hot take playing as the male character in RPG sucks. I before Pokemon, even before Pokemon got the customization stuff, like I just thought that like the other characters like looked like so much cooler than the male protagonists. But yeah, the male counterpart's name is Ray, I believe. But yeah, so like the a lot of the story is them talking about how like you're like this stranger like fell from this giant hole in the sky, like the giant time rift, and literally like you're wearing like a t-shirt you can buy in like Pokemon X and Y, like when you like drop down from the sky, and you just like stick out like a sore thumb, like compared to like fucking everybody like in like the overworld of the game. I'm so happy when they finally give me like my actual like Survey Corp outfit, because it's like finally I can stop sticking out like a sore fucking thumb. Like it looks so jarring, and like a lot of the time travel stuff like follows you throughout the game. The first, because I was just like, are they just gonna like not mention the fact that like I'm not from here? Like there has to be other people like that are like me, where like I'm not from this realm or something. And then they introduced the guy from the battles. Did you know who the Sneasler guy was? Did you know who he was like from other Pokemon games?
Ingo?
Ingo, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Battle Subway dude.
Yeah, it took me until like, because they mentioned like, oh yeah, like this guy, like he's from another world just like you. And I'm looking at him, I'm just like, who are you? Like it took me a second. I'm just like, I know who this is, and then he starts making the train puns, and then he does like the point thing when you battle him, where he like points at the ground.
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, it's the Battle Subway guy from Unova. Confirmed Gen 5 remakes. Am I right, guys? But like, yeah, that was cool. And then one of your favorite characters in the game, Volo.
He's
Volo.
a goat.
Yeah, goated for sure. You find how long did it take you to realize that Volo was the bad guy? Because I clocked him immediately.
Oh, I guess I'm just an idiot because I thought he was my friend. I thought Volo was my friend, and I wanted him to be. I didn't realize until like the last battle with him.
Yeah, so basically, like Volo is part of this like rival. I don't know, this like other clan that like most of their job consists of them just like selling you wares at like a slightly affordable price. I guess they just have rare items a lot of the time. And Volo's just kind of there, just like, hey, like cheering you on through your journey. It's like, hey, good job, go get him out there. And like, obviously the plate items play a big part in this game, as they are handed to you as like rewards for like doing various like main quest stuff. And, eventually, you get to the point where you just need like the last plate out of the 18 types there are. And Volo's the one that gives it to you. And they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm trying to summon Satan. So you want to fight like right now? And it wasn't until that battle where I'm just like, oh, it's a Cynthia thing. Like,
yeah.
Because like you can see like shades of like people and their ancestry like throughout the entirety of this game. Like, Professor Rowan is like a mafia boss, and like Cyrus is like a woman. Well,
yeah.
like you very clearly got a descendant of like Rowan and Cyrus, and I'm just like, who is this person supposed to be? And like, it wasn't until I saw the spirit tomb, I'm just like, oh, it's Cynthia.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, dude, I too am also an idiot. I'm just like, why? Like, I'm just like, why does this dude just have a Togepi? And I'm like, I didn't even clock it after the Gibble. I'm just like, who are you supposed to be? And then I saw the Spiritomb and I was like, God damn it, it was right in front of me the whole time. Like, I'm an idiot.
Their
Uh,
official art, Volo and Cynthia, they are doing the same exact pose in both of their official art.
no fuck, I gotta look this up right now. Volo official art. Oh my god. No way. Oh my god. Oh my god! God! Oh, this is me going back in time to kick myself. Oh, I'm so. Oh my fucking god! I'm so tight. I'm actually so mad right now. But yeah, you find out through your friend throughout who you think is your friend throughout the entirety of the game, is actually the big bad at the end of the game, and he's the one that summoned that riff in the middle of the sky because they are also not from another world. Um, and yeah, I felt the way about it. I felt deceived. I felt lied to. And but God, he's such a great character.
I know.
I love sort of like the offbeat, like weird characters in Pokemon. Like I really like N and and his whole story in Black and White. And God, like again, I clocked it pretty early, and I knew Volo was going to be a bad guy, and it was worth it, to the 11th hour. But he's definitely one of my favorite characters in the game. I can't say the same about everybody else. I wish that Irido wouldn't wear shorts in the mountaintops. I don't know how you feel about the other new characters that they like force you to interact with throughout the game.
um, so I'm super biased. My favorite like Pokemon cast of all time is Sun and Moon. I feel like all of those characters are so like fleshed out and special. And then like I don't know, a lot of the characters in this game feel a little hollow, um, like comparatively.
Sure.
But I could. The only one that I really, really, really love is Volo. Like he's definitely like my top 3 characters of all time. Like for Pokemon.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. I love the cast of Sun and Moon. I love the relationship of of Lily and Nebby
Mm-hmm.
throughout that game. I love I love Professor Kukui. He's such a Chad.
Yep.
I'm such a fan, and that's also amplified by the Pokemon anime as well. Like if you haven't been watching the Pokemon anime, I highly recommend you watch it like in its current state, and like anything since Pokemon X and Y has been like really good for the Pokemon anime. So all the characters, if you like those characters in like their base games, you'll like them in like the anime adaptations because they're so true to their characters. But yeah, I I like the beef that the shop owner has with like the other guy. Like I thought I don't know. I just thought like that was dumb. As like you have to keep side questing to
Yeah.
expand your inventory, and he's just like, you stole from me. I'm just like, all right, bro, I don't care. This is like who asked? Like not me. But yeah, everybody fails in comparison to Volo. I hope we run into another variant of him in another time because, like you said, because they give Arceus blesses you with the ability to like, travel through dimensions, yada yada yada. Like, and if you looked at the Dynamite games, like you'll understand that they're definitely going to like bring these Pokemon into like a style of game where like abilities are a thing and like your base stats, I don't want to say your base stats don't matter, but like you're able to like hold items and stuff. Because that was the thing for me that's like still like the most jarring is that like Pokemon don't have abilities. You can't hold items and you can't like you can like change your moves at any time, which I think was cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
I
so cool.
yeah, that's such like a great change. Like they definitely make a lot more of your move pools like a little bit more shallow. And by a little I mean a lot. Like a lot of your Pokemon either like learn a lot of the same like moves leveling up, uh, and like but like they really emphasize like mastering the certain moves. And I haven't talked about my favorite quality of life change yet, but like turning like the trade held items into consumable items, I think needs to be the standard moving forward. I've used more Pokemon in this game than I would have used that I never would have used otherwise if it wasn't for the fact that I can just like give my Graveler a fucking link cable and it evolves. Like I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was so fucking cool.
I love that. Yeah, and also like they were pretty easy to grind. Like if you just wanted to find the lost satchels, you could go buy them from like the one lady.
Yeah, that's literally what I did for like a bulk of my day yesterday. Because like my friends ask me just like, like my friends that are playing the game at like a much slower pace than me, they're just like, you know so much about these games. How come you're not like streaming them? And I'm just like, because all I've been doing is just farming satchels, and I don't want anyone to like watch me do that for like 6 hours. Um, but like I and it's funny because I when they first introduced it, like the held items in like Gen 2, that's the way I always tried to evolve those Pokemon. Like I would like they'd give me the metal coat, and I'm just like, okay, I have to give like Scyther the metal coat to evolve it. How come it's not evolving? What do you mean I can't use it? What do you mean he can only hold it? Like this is stupid. And like they finally listened to like 7-year-old me, where they're like, oh hey, you can just give it to him now, and like he evolves into Scizor, or like you can just give Porygon the upgrades, and he turns into like Porygon 2. And I'm just like, wow, this is amazing, because like I've never used Porygon in a playthrough before. I've never used Scizor in a playthrough before. I've never used Golem in a playthrough before, and I'm just like, these Pokemon are kind of fun. Like,
Yeah.
it's a nice change of pace, and like now that there's this barrier of entry to me using them, which is like so much. I love that change so much, and I hope they keep it that way for like moving forward. Personally,
Yeah, I agree. It's like, to me, like a core part of Pokemon will always be like the trading, like, and stuff, but it at this point, it's like, you could do that at any time just based on how technology is advanced. It's a lot less of a social thing and more like inconvenient. Like, I got it in like red, blue, gold, silver. Like, it was just a social thing to like hang out with your friends and bring the cable out and be like, okay, let's trade. But now it's like I could trade with literally anyone. There's entire discords made to like just like complete your decks and stuff. So it's like it's not super necessary anymore. So it's just like definitely a quality of life thing instead of like me being a 5-year-old like, okay, I want Gengar.
I have so much. I forget what Pokemon game it is. I have so much PTSD for like the girl that's like, oh, will you trade this incredibly common Pokemon for my Hauntor? And I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
god,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm just like, yeah. And then you're just like, oh, he's holding an Everstone, so he won't evolve. And I'm just like, fuck you. I'm just, it's just so sad. And like, that's again, Gengar's another Pokemon. Like, Gengar is so fucking cool. And I've never used Gengar in like any of my playthroughs really, because he's just so impossibly hard for me to get, because at the time where I was playing these games a lot, I didn't have friends to trade with. And now, like you said, it's like so incredibly easy. I miss, like, I forget what it was called, a Pokemon X and Y, but like you can just like trade with like anybody. Like
Hmm.
I forget what the service was called, but like that was like so fucking cool. Have you seen what the trade animation looks like in these games, by the way? Because it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I haven't traded with anyone myself, but Gavin showed me.
It is so funny. I can't get over how like jarring it looks. Like I saw a video of somebody like editing like the DuckTales like moon landing song over it, and I was like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
Yeah, it's so cool.
But I think we've talked a good amount about like most of the things in this game that like make them fun. Again, I haven't done a lot of the post game yet, just because I've been like cooling down, but like I understand that there's like a lot more stuff that can like you play through the game a lot more after you beat the game, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of Pokemon not having a post game. And I one of my favorite aspects of like the Gen 5 games, because like everybody's harkening back to Gen 5 as to like this is their favorite game since then. My favorite thing about the original Pokemon X and Y is that like you literally like pretty much half the game is like the post game kind of
Hmm.
sort of, where like you venture on half the map for one journey, and then you're going around the other half of Unova in the second half. And I thought that was so fucking cool, because it makes me so upset that like the Pokemon post game is like such an afterthought. And there's rumors of just DLC coming to this game. So I hope that they continue to like really show this game the love that it deserves, because I think a lot of people, it harkens down to like a lot of people were pleasantly surprised by this. The Pokemon purists, I'm sure, we're going to play it, and I'm sure they were going to hate it, probably too. But
Hmm.
so I feel like this has brought so many people back into like enjoying Pokemon, and and I think my hot take is that I think we are getting like the announcement at least of Gen 9 coming at some point this year. Like I think it's coming.
Oh, did you see, like, sorry, this is so random. I not really if we're talking about Gen 9. So everyone's kind of like unanimous on like Professor Lavington being from Galar, right?
Right.
Okay, so in Raichu's Pokedex entry, it says that Raichu can take down a Kaparaja from my homeland. So you're like, okay, yeah, he is from Galar. But if you look at Kaparaja's Dex entry, it says it was brought to Galar from a different region. So Lavington is probably from Gen 9.
Right. Oh, okay. I didn't see that specific rumor for it because I've seen two specific things, and I think the one that I've seen is that like people think that the next region is going to be like based in Italy because of like
India.
the right. I saw the India one like a lot more commonly now, just mostly because of the Caparaja stuff. I actually didn't
Uh-huh.
know about the Lavington connection to that, so that's actually really cool. Um, it's also funny that they finally changed around that Pokedex entry because I remember, I think it was like Fire Red and Leaf Green. Like they literally make reference to like an Indian elephant
Yep, yeah.
as to like the Pokemon that can be taken down by Raichu. So I think that's cool. So I think if I think it's lining up more to be like based in like India and like that part of the world. I think a lot of people also looked at like the cameo you get from the game director in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where he starts this conversation with Chow. So like maybe
Oh.
so he's like oh Chow, I'm the game director, and I'm just like everyone's just like, oh, is that like a hint for like Italy? Like, is it going to be like an Italian Pokemon region? Which like insert your memes here because that was like I wouldn't be able to like stop making
I
Sopranos
actually didn't
references.
hear the Italy one.
Yeah, that one like kind of came and went because like again you have to like play through a large chunk of the game. I think you have to get to like the hotels like right outside of Pastoria City
Mm.
to where you like get that information and like you talk to the game director and I think he like says he mentions Chow and uh everyone's just like, oh, is the next region going to be Italy? So maybe if they find some combination of both, that'd be cool. But I do think the Lavington stuff definitely lines up a lot nicely, a lot nicer there. I think that'd be
Mm-hmm.
cool. I love the direction that these games are going with like how they look thematically and like India, if you like look at whether the countrysides or like how just like advanced of a city it is like technologically, like that would be so fucking cool. And
It
I
would
think
be.
I don't know if we're gonna get an announcement this year because like most Pokemon games come out in November. So like, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get an announcement in like March or something about like a new Pokemon game. Like I don't know when like X and Y or like Sun and Moon or Sword and Shield like announced when they were coming out. I think they usually do it like earlier in the year, and then you have like 6 months of speculation until the games come out.
Mm.
But I do think at some point we're going to get an announcement of Gen 9 because I think we're. Some people even saying that this is the first Gen 9 game. I'm just like, no, let's take it easy,
Um,
folks.
I think Pokemon is considering this Gen 9.
Really?
Yeah, I
Huh.
think it'll be probably this, and then like they put out a graphic or something or other. I don't know if it was like the Pokemon account or like from a different country, but they had like all the generations. They're like, which one's your favorite? And 9 had Legends Arceus in it. So what I'm assuming will probably be happening going forward, just like speculation, just based off what I've been seeing other people say, like they'll probably be the mainline games, and then Legends will probably be its own thing.
Wow. Huh, interesting. Either way, if it's Gen 8.5 or Gen 9, if this is the send off for Gen 8, I am for the most part satisfied. Like I love Pokemon Sword and Shield. I thought those games were a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
The DLC was a fun like change of pace. I do like some of the stuff that they did there, and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl I will never play again. So
Yeah.
we move, but I am super excited for if I really hope Pokemon stays in this direction. And I think they knew they were taking a risk with like changing up the formula so dramatically. And I think people are really receptive to it. So, like you said, the quality of life changes are so good. I think they would be foolish to go back and you know just take a step backwards and go back to like the traditional turn-based strategy stuff, or just do what Final Fantasy VII remake did. It just gives you the option to do both. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
like you're why do we have to have one or the other? Like give us give me variety. But yeah, do we got any other thoughts you have here? Any other hot takes you want to like put on here?
Hot takes. Actually, like maybe not. I feel like everyone's like kind of like unanimously like really loving the game, and that makes me really happy. Like, I don't even see as many people pointing out the crust as I expected to. Cuz like when everything's in motion, it actually looks like really good, especially like handheld. I don't know if you've been playing handhelds at all, but
I
I got
have
an
been. I've been playing a
OLED.
lot handheld actually.
Yeah, I got an OLED and it looks incredible. Like actually looks really good.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah. One of my friends has an OLED, and I watched him play it a little bit handheld, and it looks amazing. I will say the only things that don't look good in motion, and I don't know if you've seen it, if you like see like the Pokemon that like fly like above you in the
Oh,
air,
yeah.
like they just like go in and out of like like 2 frames per second into like going smoothly back into motion again. Like
Yeah.
when I found the Gyarados that flies above you in the Obsidian Fields, I
Mhm.
laughed for like 15 minutes.
It's actually so funny.
It's
I actually forgot about that. The pop-in's kind of jarring too.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that like we're still this many years into like the console wars, and like Pokemon Nintendo games still have like a lot of like draw distance and like drop in stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
it like again, I think Nick C like pointed this out on Twitter. Is like, yeah, the game looks like an N64 games at times, and that's fine. Like it's really not it's really not going to take away from my experience. But I think my hot take is that I think whatever this next generation is, I think we're gonna get a new Pokemon type. I'm gonna go out and say it. I'm gonna throw my hat into the ring. I think it's time. I think it's
A
time. I think
type?
yeah. I
You
think
want
it's
to
time.
hear what type I've been wanting? I want like cyber type.
Okay, go off because this is a new one for me.
Like a Pokemon that can exist like I don't know, like Porygon shouldn't be normal to me. It should be cyber type. There's like a few Pokemon like that, especially like currently with like technological advances and stuff. I just feel like it'd be like a really cool type.
I can get behind that. That especially with like the Ultra Beasts and how they like don't look like Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
I know you are a Buzzwole stan, so
I love Buswell. Also, there could be like a computer Rotom. It could be Ghost or Electric and Cyber.
does he just say mean things about my mom on the internet? Like
Yeah.
that would be
Yes.
cool. I've seen people toss around the idea of like the light type or like an angel type, and I'm just like, that feels like a little too close to Shin Megami Tensei, and I don't really like that.
Mm,
Like it's a little too much, but I do think they need to do something to like kind of balance out the fairy type because like
yeah.
I've used the fairy type in every single Pokemon game
Yeah.
since they've allowed you to use one, because if you don't, you're fucking up because they are so overpowered. Like Dragon type got handed such a shitty hand, man. Like
Yeah.
they need to make Dragon types broken again because it's not fair. Like the fact that they are completely immune to fairy types typing, or like the fact that like they're like weak to fairy and their moves are not effective against them, I think is like too fucking broken. And I'm just like, they need to find some way to like balance this out because if that's introducing a new type, I think that's a cooler way to do it instead of just like nerfing the fairy type by like making it like not it's like oh, it doesn't do this anymore or that anymore. I've actually watched a couple of video essays from Wolf Glick about like how you change like a couple of like these like really bad types, and I think they're like a lot of fun. But I
Mm.
like the idea of cyber types. I like the I'm on board. I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on for that one. I dig that.
I think it would be so cool. I've been saying this for years. Just for no reason at all. Just because I think Porygon deserves a type.
I agree. I think Porygon has like moved into like one of my favorite Pokemon. I think with the amount of electric type moves that Porygon knows, it should be an electric type or something. Like I didn't realize like how heavily favored it just like learns like it just like knows Thunderbolt just like by level up. I'm just like, this is strange. Also, a great comment from one of my friends made is just how like Porygon's the only Pokemon that was so good they gave it a sequel, which is like so fucking funny. Oh man, but yeah, we've been going for about an hour. Yeah, spoiler alert: these games are fun. I think that's what my final thoughts are going to be. Is that if you are again like you consider yourself more of just like a fair a pretty fair weather Pokemon fan, like I am pretty entrenched into Pokemon. I've actually been watching the new anime stuff because again, it's so good and it's on Netflix, so it's like much more easier to watch. So if you, it just makes great background noise when you're not doing anything because it's just anime Seinfeld. Like no, like actually though, like nothing of consequence happens.
That's
like,
so funny.
Well, like the way that the stories are structured, it's that like they've really changed how the formula of the anime works. Where like Ash isn't just like going through gym battles anymore. Like he's actually like striving for something a little bit bigger. So like the episodes like go back to like a lot of the old regions and watch Pokemon Journeys on Netflix. Is my plug, but also buy these games. These games are fantastic, and if you are on the fence about it, if you're willing to look past like some graphical stuff and like some of the new Pokemon are kind of mid, you're gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm still having fun. And I'm gonna go play as soon as I'm done with this podcast.
Let's go.
Any parting thoughts from you?
I like Pokemon.
There we go. That's the tagline. There. That's the tweet right there, officer. Pokemon rules, and I'm excited for what's coming in the future. Again, I really just hope that they like don't shoot themselves in the foot and like really, strive to like build off of this game's formula to like make a better Pokemon game, because it's gonna make those Gen 5 remakes even cooler whenever those come out.
Oh man.
And I'm one of my friends said that like he was excited about the Gen 4 remakes because it makes that the Gen 5 remakes are coming even faster. So I am excited for that coming in like 2024, 2025. And that's games are good. Pokemon rules. And I couldn't have done this podcast without you, B. Thank you so much for sitting down and talking to me, waxing poetically about these games. I'm like you were like, I don't want to like tweet spoilers about the game, but I want to talk about it with people that have played it because it's just like my hyper fixation is like so like narrowed onto Pokemon right now to where like I can't think of anything else without thinking of Legends Arceus first. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. I love just talking about stuff that I like. So
yes, and I'll definitely make sure to have you back. For whatever true crime like dumb shit we end up watching at the same time.
Let's go.
At some point, it'll be fun. So, if you got anything to plug, if you want to direct people to where they can find you on the internet, go ahead. Where can the people at home find you?
Basically only on Twitter right now. Is twitter.com/ghoulrunnings, like the movie Cool Runnings. But
we don't talk about it enough. Your Twitter handle is so good. Like it is a top 5 like Twitter handle of all time. Like when I first met you, I was just like, "Yo, that is hard as hell." Like it's so fucking good.
It sucks in like in a community full like a gaming community full of like Zoomers. They just don't get it.
Yeah, where's just real quick before we get out of here? Like, do you have like a short story as to like how you like settled on that as like a screen name?
Literally no. I think I was at like a thrift store or something, and I saw Cool Runnings like on VHS, and I was like, oh, okay.
It's just like I love that so much, and it's on Disney Plus, by the way. The movie. I think it is. Yeah, it's Walt Disney Pictures, so it's on. Hans Zimmer did the score for this movie? What? That's crazy. Jesus Christ. I'm learning so much about the lore of Cool Runnings on this podcast. But yeah, I'll make sure to put all your stuff in the description below if they feel so inclined to look into that. You can follow me on Twitter at KoopaNJ, like New Jersey. Much less cool. And yeah, but I've always stated that my friends are much cooler than I am. So yeah, you can follow me there. I'm not really doing anything like of interest. Events are getting postponed, and I'm just kind of staying home. I'm going to Vegas next week, so if you want to follow me through, me going on a bachelor party, you can follow me there. Some stuff might happen. I don't know.
Are you going to Glitch?
No. I'm actually.
Cringe.
I know. Listen, I can explain. I'm going to a wedding that same weekend.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, the date change kind of screwed me, so I'm cringing real hard. But let's just hang out soon. Let's make more Sanji food. I'm down for that.
Yeah, me and Noelle want to have Italian.
Ooh, Gabagool. I will let's watch only The Sopranos. And we'll call it a night. But yeah, follow me at Koopa NJ, follow the show at Koop'd Up Pod. And yeah, thank you guys again for joining us. Make sure to check us out on all of your favorite podcasting sites. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you can manifest a podcast site, we're probably on it. So thank you guys so much again for joining me. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.